Good evening. Did you know that Hospice of San Angelo services the entire Concho Valley and includes 15 counties? This evening, I'd like to tell you a story of a grandmother's love straight out of Brady, Texas, and introduce you to tonight's true star, Baelon Simmons.
When he was born, the first time I walked in and saw him, he had an IV in his soft spot. I'd never seen anything like that. And his little legs were all twisted, and I took one look at him and I thought, I'll take care of you as long as I live. And that's what I tried to do. He was born with Mobius syndrome, which means 4 cranial nerves did not form in the womb. And when they diagnosed him, there were only 800 cases in the United States. But they did tell us that he had a worst case scenario. He made a lot of noise and he'd let you know something was going on, but he didn't talk. And the only other time he told me I love you without even thinking, as I said, I love you, and I love you. And when he was little, he'd do this. And because I had taught him Mimos, baby. And he did that until he was probably about 12. So he went through a lot, more than any human ought to have had to go through that. As he'd been to the hospital 9 times in 13 months, nearly died 3 times on the way to Fort Worth, and he didn't deserve all of that.
Oh, Baelon. My first time when I came into the home, he sat up in the bed, laid his back against me, and just laid there for about 10 minutes. Such a beautiful, handsome young man. Couldn't communicate with you, but those eyes could tell you everything. I think it was a little difficult because pediatric patients and younger patients are always hard. It is more emotional, it's more intense. But I also felt like we were kind of coming full circle because Pat was a volunteer. I think the word hospice is intimidating. We don't come in and take over. And I think in this situation in particular, it was very important for Pat and the family to feel like they still had some control and they were still able to take care of him. Nobody was going to take care of him better than he was already being taken care of. So sometimes you just know where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. And this was one of those times.
Well, actually, it wasn't near as hard as people think. I loved him so much. And everything I did for him was out of love. They counseled me a lot and informed me of the things that I didn't know that would go on and why we needed to do certain things or take him off certain medications. But I was very blessed to have hospice here. We were very blessed. They were wanting to be here to take care of him. And that made a lot of difference. And they deferred to me for everything and did not treat me like I had no opinion. They treated me like, if you don't want it done, it's not going to happen. And I liked that.
Just being able to call us and to know that we'll be there. It doesn't matter day or night, we're there. We're there for the care, any needs, emotional support. That's what we do. We love, and we love wholeheartedly.
He had had a seizure and his heart rate dropped to 41. Pretty much knew. But the wonderful thing about it is we could tell he had such peace. He wasn't hurting. I think was ready. And I think that has a lot to do with somebody way beyond my abilities that was preparing his heart. And maybe Grandma's prayers. But when he passed, I had said that I would take care of him all of his life. And so that's what I did. And that was the hardest thing anybody ought to have to do. but I was glad that I was there to watch. I guess to see how beautiful he was. I don't know what I expected, because you see and hear a lot of things, but Baelon was beautiful. He laid there so peaceful, so quiet, moved his little head that one time, put it on his pillow like he was going to sleep, and that's the last time he moved. And it wasn't very long until he was gone. They're like a lifeline. And I would say to somebody that is maybe going to have to put a loved one on hospice, expect it to be a love thing, and utilize their hearts, because they have beautiful hearts. They know what to do, and they love you through it. They don't just do their job. They come in and love you through it.
Life's a journey, and we just meet them at a different point in their journey, and we just try to help that part of the journey be the best that it can be. Yeah.
I know that where he's at, he's healed, and he's beautiful. There, he's whole.
On December 20th, Baelon took his last breath. He was surrounded by his loving grandmother, Pat, and his hospice family, including Keela and Darcy. This part of his journey was complete. Hospice of San Angelo wants to say a big thank you to the Simmons family for allowing us to share their beautiful story of Baelon. Thank you for supporting Hospice of San Angelo tonight, and may God bless each and every one of you.